Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, Tilray traders and investors. Another exciting day. It's Rod with Pow Group, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. It's August 12th, Tuesday. Hope you're well. And in this video, we're going to do another update on Tilray brands. Some exciting news. They're expanding their USA HD9 drinks, and the stock hit $1.20 USD today. I mentioned for a while now that they had until September 21st to regain compliance with the NASDAQ and the reverse split fears, and then they could get a 6-month extension, which brings us to March 20th, 2026. And I said with rescheduling looming toward the fall, after crypto is no longer in the spotlight, once we get stablecoin legislation, Genius Act, that's already done, then market structure, so Clarity Act, and then they're going to pivot over to MJ, and that's exactly the playbook that we're seeing unfold. And again, it's not like I have a crystal ball, it's just I learned how the game was played. And I'm not just looking at Tilray stock. I'm not just looking at the MJ sector. I'm looking at what these political parties are doing, and every second word out of their mouth was crypto, blockchain, and AI. So why are we going to expect them to really start to jump all over, MJ in terms of policy shifting? And also the fact that the DEA head Terrence Cole just barely got nominated and getting situated, so he needs to get brought up to speed, get his feet wet a little bit, settle in, and then they're really going to start to focus on MJ, and then we're going to get safer banking, uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ, and more than likely going to get rescheduling, like I said, in the fall. That's looking like that timeline is playing out to perfection, and then they'll look to deschedule it eventually. But this is the playbook that we've been expecting, and this is exactly how it is unfolding so far. It's going to be a little bit longer. Like I said, they're still working on the crypto bills, but then I really think they're going to start to push the gas pedal on MJ. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, you'll be notified on any future videos, and we'll jump into the chart toward the end. I'll give my thoughts and opinions on the price action in the days, weeks, months ahead, but as always, not financial advice. And I do own Tilray in my portfolio. It's my largest MJ holding. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So Tilray expands its hemp-derived Delta-9 THC beverage lineup with 10 milligram drinks from Fizzy Jane's and Happy Flower brands. So you can see here they have vanilla, blood orange, lemon, lime, and then now they have the Super Bloom collection, a 10 milligram line of signature flavors: margarita, strawberry daiquiri, and peach Bellini. So I know a ton of people have tried these. You can see here Fizzy Jane's retailing for $15.99 SRP per 5 milligram 4-pack and $17.99 per 10 milligram 4-pack. And in terms of Happy Flower Super Bloom, they're available now online and retail, retailing for $17.99 for a 5 milligram 4-pack and $19.99 for a 10 milligram dosage. That's actually really good in terms of price point. A lot of the other drinks, and they're terrible. Most of the other competitors' drinks are terrible, and they're way overpriced. So this is definitely great. And you can go to drinkhappyflower.com, get free shipping over $75. And if you sign up, give them your email, you can actually get like 10 or 20% off your first order, I believe. But as you can see, fizzyjanes.com, so they have their options as well. And on Drink Happy Flower, I've heard nothing but great things about it, and a few people in different parts of the U.S. have said that they saw them in like their local stores, and they were selling out a lot. So that goes to show you the demand for these. And if you recall, Tilray also said they were implementing AI operations across all of their business segments, and then they also plan to accept crypto payments. And with PayPal now getting into over 100 cryptocurrencies in terms of payment to U.S. merchants, it's very possible that Tilray taps PayPal for that. And eventually you could see crypto payments coming to Happy Flower. They said that they were going to bring it to certain brew pubs. Erwin Simon said in the interview that I did with him. And he said to the e-commerce platforms as well. So think of your drinkhappyflower.com, your Fizzy Janes. They also said they'll be getting into gummies as well soon, HD9 gummies, and a few other categories. So that's something to look forward to. But I think it's smart that they're just rolling out the beverages in the U.S. because the fact that the farm bill's up for debate, and they could potentially make some amendments to it. But I think the beverages are really going to be sheltered because it's so ingrained now into the alcohol distribution networks as well. A lot of these alcohol retailers are relying on it, and they're being disrupted as well, and they're seeing tons of revenue from it. So I just think that the lobbyists are really going to fight for the beverages, but the gummies might be a completely different thing. But let's go through. So they're selling all over the U.S. at the moment. They're just kind of taking their time going through the rollout. But let me just see. There was a certain that we were mentioning it. South Carolina. So yeah, Fizzy Jane's sparkling seltzer line was available in Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina is now available in 10 milligrams. And then if we go to the shipping policy, we go down shipping policy here on Drink Happy Flower. You can see they ship to the following states: Ohio, Tennessee, Indiana, Oklahoma, Alabama, Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, New Jersey, Florida, and South Carolina. And then if we go down to Fizzy Jane's, do they have a, does it say where they ship to? I'd have to just do a little bit of digging here. Currently, Fizzy Jane's is sold through our website and select retailers. We currently ship to Ohio, Tennessee, Indiana, Oklahoma, Texas, Georgia, New Jersey, Minnesota, Florida, and South Carolina, but we'll be expanding to additional states soon. Check back for regular updates. So exciting times. And yeah, now that we're over $1, we're kind of hovering, we're right on $1 actually, right as we speak. And now that we're back over $1, I'm getting tons of questions. Are we going to see them do a reverse stock split at this point? Could they still do one? Absolutely. Even if it's above $1, they still, at any point, they have the approval, right? The shareholders approve the reverse stock split. So essentially, the only way, it's up to the board, but they can only do it within this range that was approved, the 1 to 10 or 1 to 20. So they can't do like a 1 for 30 or something like that because it wasn't approved. But again, they have until September 21st to regain compliance, and then they have until March 20th if they get the 6-month extension. And with all these catalysts on the horizon, I can't see why they would even need to. But they did mention that there was some benefits to it, right? Here's the, if implemented, the stock split kind of gives these benefits here. So they would obviously maintain their listing with the NASDAQ, align the company with the shares outstanding with companies of size and scope, making Tilray more attractive to institutional shareholders. So a lot of institutions can't buy unless it's over $5. And it also reduces their expenditures associated with the AGM for stockholders, resulting in up to $1 million cost savings on an annual run rate basis. So we'll see what happens at this point. Yeah, it's anybody's guess. Nobody has a crystal ball. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't be the end of the world even if they did. But if we take a look at the chart, like I said, we hit $1.20 today was the high. And I mentioned that we had a daily bull flag a long time ago. We actually took a trade in the Power Group private community. We have long-term accounts and short-term accounts, myself included. But in our short-term account, we were looking at Tilray as a trade. And we actually bought it at 44 cents when we were breaking out of this falling wedge on the weekly time frame. We also had hidden bullish RSI divergence where we had on the weekly time frame, we had the falling wedge. We also had the higher lows and higher highs on the RSI and lower highs and lower lows on the price action. That's called bullish RSI divergence. And then we had the daily bull flag as well, which that target was 108. And as you can see, we hit that target today and we overshot it actually by quite a bit. And so did VFF. So again, if you're only looking at Tilray and you're not looking at other names in the space, well, you're not seeing the entire picture. Plus the S&P 500 SPY was a daily bull flag targeting 648. So if we look at SPY right now, it's at 640, almost 642. So SPY was a daily bull flag. We look at VFF, it confirmed its daily bull flag and overshot it. So what are we going to anticipate more than likely for Tilray? That it would confirm its daily bull flag. And even after that earnings reaction on a non-adjusted, on an adjusted basis, they missed estimates. But if you adjusted it, counted that, they actually beat in terms of EPS, and it wasn't that bad. So overall, we had a negative earnings reaction, but we did have a massive move into that earnings report and then bearish reaction. But look, we held that key support right at 55 cents, and it was a double bottom. And realistically, as long as we held the 0.32 fib there at 54, we were still anticipating that daily bull flag. And sure enough, just like VFF, it overshot that daily bull flag. And a lot of people in the Power Group private community made 100% gain. We were looking at a move. We entered this one at 44 cents and we sold it at 88 cents. So we made a quick 100% trade opportunity on Tilray. But again, we have that in our longer term account as well. You know, we're not selling the long term anytime soon. But actually, our group just took another trade today. And again, not an investment, it's a trade. So we're looking at another 100% gain with a different asset. But you'll have to be a part of the Power Group private community to get insight into that. But if we take a look at MJ here on the day today, it's very possible that, you know, this is our top here. We could potentially fizzle out, go sideways, and then start daily consolidation over the next couple of days because we have no support all the way down to 55 cents here on Tilray at the moment. So that's what happens when you see these big breakouts with a lack of support. Typically, you need to expect after a massive move like this, at least a 30 or 40% pullback. But you can see here another solid day in the market today. In terms of red, we have DB, ROMJ, and Cron leading the bear side. But when a name like Tilray has been this beaten down. It's a number one company, right? A tier one company. And number one, it's going to be top 5 for sure, in my opinion. Probably top 3, maybe even the number one company when it's all said and done. But like I said, I'm very bullish on Tilray, very bullish on Curaleaf. Those are my top 2 picks. And it's just getting started, folks. This is just the tip of the iceberg. But if we take a look at the moving averages here, we did get above our 50 weekly. So the next major level of resistance is at $1.44. And then we get above our 200-day moving average there at 85 cents. So we could come back test 85 cents as old resistance, as new support. That's very possible as well. But essentially to negate this reverse split, and well, they could still reverse split technically, but in order to regain compliance with the minimum bid price rule on the NASDAQ, they need to see 10 consecutive days above $1. So yesterday we closed at 92. So today, if we close above $1, then that's going to start the timer. And then if we do it for 9 more trading days in a row for a total of 10, then we would regain compliance with the NASDAQ. So the timer could start today. We'll keep an eye on it, and let me know your thoughts and opinions on the reverse split. Do you think that they're going to just wait it out and try to avoid it at all costs, or do you think they're still going to go ahead and run with it? But like I said, even if we don't do it by September, they could get the extension similar to what VFF did in 2023, and then again in 2024, they actually got a second warning and a second extension. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tilray got an extension at this point. But we'll just take a look at some of our lower level timeframes here and see what we're dealing with. We are starting hourly consolidation, so we could potentially see an hourly bull flag if we go from our low to the high there. Anything over 94 is a potential hourly bull flag. So if we take a look at the measured move, so key support here in the short term is going to be 94 cents. If we lose that, probably heading back down, like I said, to around 85 cents. But if we confirm the hourly bull flag, and what we need to do to confirm it is a break above $1.19. If we break above $1.20. If we break above $1.20, then the measured move here on the hourly bull flag is $1.74. So again, it's great that we had this move and hype from what if rescheduling kind of happens. Essentially, they're telling us we're going to look at what 2 plus 2 is. We're going to let you know what it equals here pretty soon in the next few weeks. But we're going to look into 2 plus 2, and we'll let you know what the math works out to. So that's what I'm comparing this to, right? Like it's a no-brainer. They're going to come back. They're going to do it. We have all the signs. The writing is on the wall. One side of the aisle wanted to legalize it at the federal level recreationally when they were both running. The other one won, but the other side wanted to legalize it like kind of states' rights. Rescheduling was for safer banking, and was for Amendment 3 in Florida and legalization where he lives. So the writing's on the wall, folks. He said on Lex Friedman that it's been nothing short of amazing in terms of medical. Doctors have been saying nothing but amazing things about it. So again, it's not just like the initial run up, and just imagine it's going to take some time when we actually get rescheduling. It's going to take some time for a lot of the 280E taxation, punitive tax code, for that to show up on these companies' quarterly reports. So it's just going to be the effects that are going to come from this are going to take a while to be realized. Like it's going to take a while for them to show up on these reports. But when we actually see 280E go away, and a lot of these U.S. companies, it's going to be massive, folks. And I know Tilray's not going to directly benefit from that, but Tilray will benefit from potential medical in the U.S. And then the whole point of rescheduling is that we see incremental reform, and we're on to broader reform from there, right? That's just the incremental stepping stone that we need to get to full-blown legalization. And in my opinion, it's going to happen a lot quicker than many think. But yeah, we're looking at key resistance here at 120 and key support at 94 cents. Lose 94, probably heading back down to 85. And then, like I said, break 120, hourly bull flag target of 174. And now's the time where no one knows how high it can go, because when things are this beaten down, like it's been absolutely pummeled to shit, right? So no one knows. It could easily go up 100, 200%. And once we get actual rescheduling, then all these other big corporations are going to start to flood into the space as well, because you have to think there's a thing called fiduciary duties, right? And a lot of these companies, they're not going to get tied up in MJ until it's no longer on Schedule 1. That means it has no medical benefit, right? So they can't even touch it. Kevin O'Leary said that he was looking at an operator, I think in Connecticut or something, and his lawyer basically told him, "Are you fucking high? Like, no, you can't touch that. It's Schedule 1. So again, all these venture capitalists, all these bigwigs are going to be coming, and big corporations with shareholders and fiduciary duties, they're all going to be coming for this space once we start to see, and that rescheduling to moving it off of Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 is that's going to be the first step in getting us there. So, like I said, timer starts now. We'll see if we can get a close over $1 today and start that timer. And then, like I said, just another 9 days in a row. But we have until September 21st to do it, at which point we could probably get an extension. But like I said, with everything going on, the way it's unfolding, it's looking like it's a realistic chance that they regain compliance organically. All right, going to end it there. It's Rod with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, and we'll catch you again on the next video.